Okay. I was not live on YouTube yet. Oopsie. Good start. Let's give it a test now. Make sure chat's working. Ayo, good to see you. Paul, good morning. Good morning. Hello, folks. Rosalind, you said your son is home with a cold, so I don't have to walk him to school today. Okay, well, I mean, pros and cons, right? uh, downside, um, downside, he's sick, so that's not nice. But upside, you don't have to walk. Maybe it's a downside though. Maybe you did want to walk. So maybe it's all downsides. Who knows? Seth, you said you're upset. You failed. Ah, it's okay. You had a good streak going as the first one in here every day. AR Rosalind sniped it out from under you today, though. Ian, good morning, my friend. Ao, how's it going? Good to see y'all. Paul, you said sorry you aren't feeling well. Ah, that's all right, man. I appreciate it. That's kind of you. Just doing too much. I had that book fair on Friday, which went really well, really well, but was exhausting. And then Saturday I was supposed to like relax, but then I had to unpack from the book fair and like handle some accounting stuff, and somehow I spent all day putting the house back together and handling unpacking and whatnot. And then Sunday I was sick from all of that. Imagine that, meeting 1,000 people on Friday and doing all that work. And yet still didn't get the rest I was supposed to. But that's alright. We're here, and we're going to rock and roll. 1992 Toyota 4Runner. Welcome in. I see we've had a name change. No longer Toyota Land Cruiser. You're now Toyota 4Runner. You going to show back up as a Toyota Tundra soon? RAV4? Does the name change coincide with your move to Australia? Did they make you change it at the border? How you doing today, buddy? It's good to see you. All right. Well, folks, how's everybody doing? How was your weekend? Let me know. Tell me in chat. We're back for another week. Another exciting time. Bo, good morning, my friend. How you doing? It's good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend. I think we're all good to go here. I'm looking at everything. I think we can knock the dust off. The stream is running. Nothing seems broken. Nothing's on fire. So I think we're doing good. Happy Monday indeed, Senior Goatman. Rosalind, you had to do overtime on Saturday, but spent some time playing games with the family yesterday. Well, that's a good balance then. I mean, don't love the overtime, but you probably got paid time and a half for it or something like that, I hope. You should at least, because overtime is extra. And then you got a good Sunday. So good, rock on. That's what I want to hear. Well, y'all, I was thinking we just keep it a little bit chiller today. I need some work. I need to do some work on my next novel, so I'll be working on that during the writing sprints. But happy to chat with y'all today. Take any questions you got. See how everybody's doing and everything. We'll just hang out. Just play it a bit more casual today. A little Monday will ease back into things. It doesn't got to be too dramatic. Rafi, TikTok didn't notify you today? That's a shame. I thought we were past this TikTok. I thought we were friends again. I thought we were cool, man. I know there's a lot of updates, it looks like. Yeah, it's like they did a bunch of updates, it seems, over the weekend to the live stream. I was greeted with a very different interface when I tried to go live today. Other name, good to see ya. Happy Monday. How you doing? Hope you had a good weekend. 1992, it's been warm and sunny since you showed up in Australia. That sounds about right. Let's see. Their seasons are reversed from ours. So we're in spring, so I guess they're in fall. So I guess you're descending into the cold but holding on to the warmth right now. I can see that. Pretty sick. It's going to be really interesting being down there, man. It's an adventure. Congratulations to you. I'm excited for you. You'll have to keep us updated on how your new life in Australia goes. It's going to be fun. Rafi, you're not a fan of the new emotes? I haven't seen them. I don't know what they look like. Um, I don't, I don't, I don't, I'm not, I can't split my attention enough to try to pull a stream up on my phone while on stream myself, so I'll have to see him afterwards. But what don't you like about him? Other name, you had one of the best weekends you've had in a long time, my dude. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, please do share. Tell us what's going on. A handbag question mark. Welcome in, my friend. How you doing? Happy Monday. You said, where have I seen you before? Probably just on TikTok Live. That's about the only place that I'd be hanging out, I think. Am I the guy that talks with the fake lisp? No, I do not believe so. If I am, it's news to me. I just stream here. I put the VODs on YouTube and I stream here. Otherwise, I'm a pretty reclusive writer who just sits at home and writes books all day. So, yeah, I mean, if you've seen me before, it was here. People say I look like a lot of folks. I get a lot of bald Asmongold comments. The guy from Hot Ones. There's a lot of people that I apparently look like. But anyway, welcome in. Glad to see you, folks. Should we do a little writing sprint here? A little bit of productivity. What do you think? I'm happy to chat. I'm happy to get to writing a little bit. Rafi, you said the liked emotes look like they just ripped some gift emotes and put them in there on shuffle. Harsh. All right. Well, I'll give them a look. I'll give them a look after stream and see what's what. It's interesting. The hearts are still the same on my end. I just see the flow of hearts. So we'll see. I'll have to take a peek into a stream. Oh, Griffin Dorky, welcome back in. You think they look weird as well, huh? Fair enough. Y'all, let me know. We got 2 votes for not liking the new likes. Let me know what you think. Paul, you said you got to spoil your wife yesterday, which was a great day. She usually resists getting spoiled. Hey, I dig it, man. That's very wholesome. I'm glad you got to spoil her. What was there an occasion, or you just picked a random Sunday? Either way, very nice. Other, you said you had one of the best weekends ever. Let me know why. I want to know what you're doing. Oh, Ian weighing in. A 3rd vote for not liking the new emojis. Oh, Mother's Day, y'all. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Good. Well, I'm glad you got to do that then. Yeah, my mom was running around all day yesterday, and so was I. And we barely linked up by the end of it. But we got there. We got there in the end. Well, good. I'm glad y'all had good weekends. I'm glad you're liking it. All right, folks. Well, this is a writing stream, right? So, unless, oh, Griffin Dorky, you're good. You don't have to be, feel no pressure. But if you want to participate, you're more than welcome to. I'm just about ready to get one going here, but I'm happy to, I feel like it's been a little while. It's been a little while since we've done a lot of questions. Uh-oh. I was trying to wipe the dust off my webcam and I moved it. Breaking things. Stop touching stuff, Alex. Somehow that didn't unfocus it, though. All I gotta do is raise my hand to wave at someone and it unfocuses, but apparently bumping it and cleaning it doesn't do anything. What I was gonna say is I feel like it's been a little while since we've had any publishing chat or book chat, so feel free to ask any questions you might have today or talk about anything you've been reading lately. I kind of got the itch for a bit of a bookish discussion, but otherwise we'll be doing our typical writing sprints today. Oh, Rafi, I'm sorry to hear that, man, but I agree. Shout out to those who stepped in, right? The people that were there. Respect. Gilo or Jello? Let me know how to say it. Good morning, my friend. How you doing? Happy Monday. Good to see you here. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Spirit Wanders, same to you. Welcome back. Good to have you for one of our more normal streams today. We're always looking to improve the format, change things up a little bit. Kind of figuring it out as we go. Jello. Okay, Jello. I will do my best to remember that. But we're always looking for new formats and whatnot. So yeah, It'll be fun. Spirit Wanders, you're reading an amazing book, The 10,000 Doors of January. Let me pull that up. I've definitely heard of it. I just don't know anything about it. Oh, it's by Alex E. Harrow. Okay. Yeah, I like her stuff. She's very good. Okay, another Harrow book set in a sprawling mansion. I see there's a trend here. Y'all, if you haven't read Starling House by Harrow, it's very good. A little bit creepy, good mystery, slow burn. It's a good book. Yeah, this sounds great. Who was reading this? I think it was Spirit. Yeah, Spirit Wanders. Yeah, I'll read the description to you because this sounds really fun. I just pulled it up. The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. In a sprawling mansion filled with peculiar treasures, January Scholar is a curiosity herself. As the ward, man, I'm all right. Hold on, reset. We'll get there. The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. In a sprawling mansion filled with peculiar treasures, January Scholar is a curiosity herself. As the ward of the wealthy Mr. Locke, she feels little different from the artifacts that decorate the halls, carefully maintained, largely ignored, and utterly out of place. Then she finds a strange book, a book that carries the scent of other worlds, and tells a tale of secret doors, of love, adventure, and danger. Each page turn reveals impossible truths about the world, and January discovers a story increasingly entwined with her own. Yeah, that sounds like an Alex E. Harrow book. It sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks for shouting that. I might have to give that a look. I'm glad you're liking it, Spirit. Rock on. Rachel Elizabeth, welcome in. Good morning. Happy Monday to you. How you doing? Rosalind, you're reading an arc for Chaos Blades by A.P. Beswick. It comes out on June 3rd. It's so good. What's the genre? Give us a little pitch for it, Rosalind. Sounds fun. Raffi, you have a fun question. What's my least favorite book? Ooh, interesting. I'll answer that in just a moment because first I need to thank FaZe Leoneer. Thank you for the follow, my friend. Appreciate you. Welcome in. How you doing? Thanks for being here. Raffi, my least favorite book. I don't know if I have a least favorite, at least that I'm consciously aware of. There's books that I haven't enjoyed, but I just kind of leave it there. Like I read them and I'm just kind of like, whatever, that wasn't for me. Art's pretty subjective, so if I don't enjoy a book, it's typically just because it didn't resonate with me. But I guess if we're talking least favorite, maybe it's a book that was beyond that, right? It was worse than didn't resonate with me. I actively disliked it. I don't really know. I think when you work with books so much, you get good at if something doesn't resonate with you, you just it's not for me and move on. So I feel like if a book's not for me, I just kind of pull the ripcord and I'm out of there. And that's kind of the last I think about it. You said your least favorite book is Millions? I've never heard of it. Let me Google it. It seems like it's relatively old. I've never heard of it before. That seems like a deep cut, Raffi, or maybe I'm just out of touch. There was a couple streams ago, so everybody was talking about a book they all read as a kid, and I totally whiffed on it. I'd never heard of it, and I got off stream, and Aaron's like, "How have you not heard of that book?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. I just missed it." Sorry, where is it? I saw one that I wanted to... Oh, there it is. Paul Hare, you said the story in Expedition 33 is so good. The music and art are chef's kiss. Yeah, Paul, I saw people playing that on Steam. They were pushing it to me. I was watching a live stream. It looks pretty darn good. I was very impressed with what I saw. Congratulations to that studio. I heard it's their first release. They're a newer studio. They're rocking and rolling, man. It looks beautiful. I love that it's so unapologetically French as well. People, they clearly put put some of their influences into it. Bo, you asked if I've ever read The Land. I haven't read it. I am very aware of it. One of the first big lit RPG series in America. I've not read it too much, but I know a lot of people like it. Yeah, it's. I know it kind of. Did you? How far in did you get, Bo? Did you go all the way through? Because I know a lot of people trickled off around like book 8 or something. I heard a lot of those reviews, and I was like, man, I don't want to get invested just to get chased away. Bfang6620. Hey, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. How you doing? Let me know. I hope you had a good weekend. And welcome in. Spirit Wanders, your least favorite book you finished was The Hunger Games. Spirit, you're gonna have to elaborate about that. What's I need some reasoning there in chat. I need an agree or disagree and 3 reasons why. Turn your essays in by the end of stream. I got you. You can't just drop that and not elaborate, Spirit. Defend yourself. Sloyd, are you talking about Millions? Okay, so this is like a thing that people read in school. Interesting. Lion, not a fan. Not a fan of Wandering In. Okay, I know that's another big one that a lot of folks read. Yeah, books are super subjective, man. Sometimes you like them, sometimes you don't. But y'all, hit me with let me know what you've read recently that you're into. What's really catching your attention lately? I wanna talk about the positives of books, not just stuff we dislike. Raffi the Giver, there it is. That's the book that we were talking about on stream that I just am unaware of entirely. I had to look it up. Everybody was like, "How have you not read that?" I'm like, "Man, I do not know, but I have not." Ian, you said book 8's the most recent of The Land. Yeah, I think that's the one that has the infamous scene, right? With the upset stomach in the cave for several chapters. Good morning, Bert. Good to see you, buddy. How you doing? Welcome back in. Have you been working on Night Market? I apologize. I've been totally disconnected. I have to catch up on the Discord. I was supposed to relax and do nothing this weekend, and instead I did everything, and it was awesome, and also I am exhausted. So after stream, I'll be catching up on Discord. But how you going, man? You've been working on that? Oh, Rosalind, it's a lit RPG. Interesting. I did not expect the arc to be a lit RPG. That's cool. Sounds very isekai. The male main character gets summoned to another world to stop the villain with the help of friends he makes along the way. Fair enough. Fair enough. Pretty generic storyline there, but I'm sure that there's a lot more originality in there that is the nuance of it that you can't cover in the length of a TikTok comment. Bfang says, I'm good. Weekend was good. Just wish I had more time to read. Reading the Powerless series. The Powerless series, BF. Let me look this up. I've not heard of that. Is it by Lauren Roberts? Is that the one you're reading? It's the first thing that came up, at least when I searched it. Nice covers. Sounds like it's romantasy. If this is the one you're... Okay, yeah, so that is the one. Alright, cool. Alright, interesting. The blurb's a bit long. I'm not going to read it all on stream. Also, I'm still waking up, so I was stumbling over last time I tried to read a blurb here. It was apparently a lot more difficult than I expected. But interesting. I'm glad you're enjoying it. What book are you on? Yeah, Paul, I'm not falling for that. Read The Giver, Alex. It's totally not traumatic at all. Y'all, I do not need the trauma right now. I've heard what that book's about, Paul. You're not pulling a fast one on me. No sneakies in here today. We'll get there one day. Spirit Wanders, you just finished a book called Lapvona. Lapvana? Y'all reading so many things I never heard of. You got that. You got those deep cuts. Interesting cover. All right, this one's short enough. We can attempt to read this one. Uh, let's see if I can stumble my way through this blurb. Um, I think it's interesting to read blurbs, y'all. Like it's very educational. One, you get to see the wonderful world that an author has created and kind of like learn about it a bit. But I'm a big fan of like just studying blurbs. They're really important. So let's see what we can learn out of Lapvona's blurb by Otessa Moshfegh. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, and I apologize. It's got a casual 86,000 ratings on Goodreads, so a little bit of a unknown here, a little bit indie book coming out of left field, but in a village in a medieval fiefdom buffeted by natural disasters, a motherless shepherd boy finds himself the unlikely pivot of a power struggle that puts all manner of faith to a savage test, in a spellbinding novel that represents Otessa Foskeg's most exciting leap yet. Little Merrick, the abused and delusional son of the village shepherd, never knew his mother. His father told him she died in childbirth. One of life's few consolations for Merrick is his enduring bond with the blind village midwife, Ina, who suckled him as a baby, as she did so many of the village's children. Ina's gifts extend beyond childcare. She possesses a unique ability to communicate with the natural world. Her gift often brings her the transmission of sacred knowledge on levels far beyond those available to other villagers, however religious they may be. For some people, Ina's home in the woods outside the village is a place to fear and avoid, a godless place. Among their number is Father Barnabas, the town priest and lackey for the depraved lord and governor, William, whose hilltop manor contains a secret embarrassment of riches. The people's desperate need to believe that there are powers that be who have their best interests at heart is put to a cruel test by William and the priest, especially in this year of record drought and famine. But when fate brings Merrick into violent proximity to the Lord's family, new and occult forces upset the old order. By year's end, the veil between blindness and sight, life and death, the natural world and the spirit world, civility and savagery will prove to be very thin indeed. Okay. That sounds heavy. That sounds quite heavy. But I can see how it'd be good. Also, it's got 86,000 ratings on Goodreads, so it found its audience, I suppose. T-Bone, you just said Red Rising, question mark? Yeah, what about it? Have I read it? I have read it. Are you a fan of it? Is it your kind of book? Y'all, I'll continue to shout it out as it absolutely blows my mind, but Servant of Rage here on the top left. If you don't know, folks, we have the same narrator as did Red Rising. Tim Gerard Reynolds has done the audiobook for Servant of Rage, and that is just astounding to me. Don't spread the word too widely, because if you shout about it too much, Podium will find out that they put such a huge narrator on such a small author, and they might take him back. Of course, they wouldn't actually do that, but I don't know, man. That feels like a mismatch, and I'm just so glad that he did it, because he rocked it. Raffy says I should make a blurb writing exercise. Oh, God, Raffy, that'd be impossible to do in 5 minutes. I mean, hey, it'd be good practice, right, though? You could get better at it by trying it. Oh, boy, that'd be tough. Blurbs take me like 2 hours to write. Like 150 words takes me like 2 hours to get there because it's so hard. They are brutal to try to write. A.R. Roseland, you said, next on my list, once I finish it, is The Depths of Van Nulf by Brady Hunsaker, a progression fantasy. Okay, so Roseland, you're going deep into the lit RPG and progression fantasy worlds, huh? Rock on. That's pretty fun. You'll get a lot of stuff in there. The authors in that genre write really quick, and the readers read even faster. The demand for new books is there. Ian, your recent reads were Hell Difficulty Tutorial 1 through 4, 1% Lifesteal number 1, and Rover Powered 2 and 3. And then Warden, You Are Summoned. Okay, so you're tearing through lit RPG as well, it sounds like, based on those titles. I think that's what those were. Rock on, dude. Some interesting titles. That Warden one, though, I don't know what that's doing there. That don't make any sense to me. I heard that book's not good. I wouldn't read that one. Some schmuck who streams on live stream every day wrote that. I wouldn't trust him to make good books. Paul, you said how are sales on Servant of Rage so far? You know, we did some good work. Kind of, I'll give a little check in here and see. They're okay, man. They're nothing exciting. Regretfully, it looks like it got some sales off the bat, and I think it's trickling along right now, but it's really nothing. It is definitely, if I had not sold the rights to books 2 and 3, it would not be worth my time financially to finish the trilogy, unfortunately. But I'm very happy to have sold the rights and to get to finish the trilogy. So that's what I will be doing. I know where the trilogy is going, and I can't wait to finish writing it for everybody. But yeah, sadly the sales really just not there. I don't know what it was. It's got a good cover. I think it's got a great narrator. I think it's a really good story, but for whatever reason, just not picking up the pace that it needs to more widely on Amazon. So it's interesting though. I was at that book fair. I don't think I posted anything about it yet, really. Maybe just one thing on Instagram. Let's see if I can show you all some video and stuff from the fair, because that was pretty sick. We had a good time. Yeah, here we go. Was it just pictures? Maybe a little video? Yeah, just 2 pictures. That's not great. I guess I'll put it up real quick, but y'all, I'm sorry, I haven't posted much. But here we go. We were at the book fair on Friday, and we had some books set up and hung out there. It was pretty sick. It was a good time. I got video and stuff. I'll put some out today because I want to share it. But it was a really good time. We sold out of everything that I brought except for a single copy of Rise to Glory, and Wrigley Little Hands, because I had 60 copies of Wrigley with me and I sold 20 of them. I sold out of like every book I brought there except from those 2 exceptions, and that was a really good feeling. We moved a lot of books in the 4-hour sale. It was pretty nuts. It was really cool to get to meet readers too. Like, a lot of people took pictures with the books or like wanted me to sign it. I mean, I drained a Sharpie signing autographing books for folks. So yeah, it was a really good time. It was pretty rocking. I'm really proud of the organizer. Shout out to Beyond the Covers Book Fair. I'll pull the graphic up one last time since it's over now, but here we go. This was it, and it went really well. We're really happy. I might have to go do a bit more in-person selling in the future. They're planning another one of these book fairs, or word is, back in September. And there's supposed to be some other local event in June, so I might go do that. But yeah, it went really well. So really happy, really glad. Met a lot of awesome people. It was a very good time. So, Zach, thank you for following, by the way. I appreciate that, my guy. Welcome in. How you doing today? Happy Monday to you. Aaron, Harpy, Slendy, thank you for the heart-me's. I appreciate you re-upping the stream team, y'all. I appreciate you being consistent with it. Y'all rock. Slendy, you got a new profile picture, don't you? I don't recognize it. Paul said, when you sell rights like that, sorry, it scrolled away as I was reading it. When you sell the rights like that, do you get all the money up front or upon finishing a new book? It can vary, Paul. Hey, good question, though. It can vary. What I've done with this one is it was basically half of... So they said, we're going to buy the rights. We want to buy the rights for X amount of money. I got 50% of that up front, which was then split between me and my publisher. And now for every book that I deliver, I will get basically the delivery fee on that book, whatever the agreed amount is, upon delivering it. So I'm incentivized to finish the books and hand them in. Slendy, you're late, but here. That's all good, man. Welcome in. Glad to have you. Paul, yeah, we did have to pay for a booth at this one. It was just $50, and then 10% of the proceeds of your... it was $50 for the booth, and then 10% of all the money I made there, I donate to... where is it? Be a Resource Houston. Right here. Which is a charity for at-risk and CPS-affected children in the Houston area. So... Not a bad entry cost. I mean, $50 and then get to donate proceeds to charity. That's that's pretty rocking, man. So I'm not mad about that. It was a good time though. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, but it was rocking. We had a good time. So definitely do it again in the future. I wish I had better pictures. I have them on my phone. I guess, hold on. We can pull some up real quick. I got iCloud. They're synced online. Let me pull them up real quick. For some reason, I'm signed out of my iCloud. Two-factor authentication. Hold, please. There we go. All right. Let's find one in here. Here we go. Go to display capture. Move it on over. There we go. There's Aaron and I at the book fair. We used to set up two little tables. It was pretty fun. Let's see. It was a good time. We sold out a bit, pretty much everything. It was a super. I don't have like stuff for events, There's some folks that said I could take their picture when they bought the book. Let's see. I know I got a specific one I'm looking for. Oh, y'all, I was so lucky. They had playoff hockey on in the background. That's what is on the screen. I can't point to it up there. So that was pretty sick. Not only did I get to sell books and meet fans, I also got to watch live playoff hockey. So it was a pretty good night. Here we go. There's a picture of the booth set up. It's really just two tables, some milk crates, and the books laid out with some paper. So it was a good time. It was pretty fun. Let's see, any more? There we go. You can see some of the books set up, just stacked them in milk crates. It was a good time though. We actually brought I brought one copy of the entire Nova Online trilogy. As you can see there, I got Warden, Renegade, and Harbinger. And really early on, one dude just walked up and he was like, "These a trilogy? I'll take all three." And he just bought all three books flat out right there, which was awesome. Very, very happy to see that. The downside was I only had one copy of book 2 with me, as you can see there. 3 book 1s, 1 book 2, and 2 book 3s. So after he did that, I only had book 1 and book 3. And then book 1 sold out, and so by the end of the night, I just had book 3s there. That was bad inventory management on my part, but it was pretty fun. So yeah, I think that's it was a good. Here you go. End on that picture. It was a good book fair. We were very happy about it. Had a great time. Yeah, and yes, I saw a question there. Did I get to explore any other booths? I did. Yeah, I got to go around and meet my booth neighbors. There were a couple other indie authors there that were doing a great business. Nice to meet them, talk with them about their books. There were a lot of independent bookshops there, which was cool too. Like they brought a selection of hand-picked books. And one of the booths there was saying they do their entire, like they're a bookstore, but they only do pop-up events. Their entire business is done through picking out books they think will do well and then taking them to little pop-ups like that, which I didn't know I didn't know that was like a thing. So rock on, good for them. T. Rushton, hey, welcome in. Glad to have you. He said you're probably going to hang out silently today because you're editing. Oof, I feel that. But no worries. No worries. I'm glad to have you anyway. I hope the editing goes well. Editing is always a challenge for me. Mind-numbing. Why do I have to edit it? Just let me write it and throw it out in the world and then write the next one. Who needs to actually reflect and improve on their work? Come on now. So... But hey, appreciate the chat, everybody. Rock on. I guess we should probably do a little bit of writing, huh? On the writing stream. Ian glares an editor. Look, Ian, I'll just send you the book. You edit it all up, and that'll be good. Then I don't got to worry about it, right? I can just go right in the next thing. Nah, it's all good. Well, real quick, everybody. Hey, welcome in. Thank you for being here. If you're unfamiliar, I'm author Alex Knight. These are my books. I've been writing full time since 2018, and the top row is fantasy. The bottom row is lit RPG. If you got any questions about them, please do ask, but you can find them all on Amazon as ebooks, paperbacks, and audiobooks. As well, they're in Kindle Unlimited. And, you know what, y'all? I do have a little announcement for you. Let me check something, because I believe we have some fun news. Hey, let's go. Okay, yes. We do have some fun news. Y'all, on Amazon here, you know that I soft launched the paperback of Wriggly Little Hands last week. But, see here, we now have a Kindle option because the pre-order is now live for the Kindle edition. You can pick up your ebook copy, or you can at least reserve your ebook copy now for Wriggly Little Hands. So May 27th is the launch. But the page is coming online. We've got the paperback, we've got the Kindle. They're combined. I talked with the audio publisher yesterday, and the audiobook edition, which is amazing. Oh my god. That will be up for pre-order any minute now. They've already submitted it, so it's really just about how fast Amazon processes it. But y'all, it's kind of happening. Wriggly Little Hands is coming. I can't wait. I think we're still, 2 weeks out from the official launch. Yeah, 2 weeks out from the official launch, but y'all, we're getting there. So if you want your ebook edition, go grab it. It is now available. In the meantime, as I teased earlier, y'all, this is a writing stream, so let's do some writing, huh? Kayla, that I did not write. First of all, welcome in. Glad to see you. That is not the book that I wrote on TikTok Live. That would be this one here, which is in editing right now. That's the one that I wrote pretty much entirely on stream. Wriggly Little Hands was written a little while ago, but is finally launching, and I cannot wait to get it out to you. It was really cool to sell it in person to people this weekend, and oh, y'all, I gotta tell you, I had one guy. This dude had so much, just boss energy. He walks up, and I, give him the pitch about the books, and he picks up Wriggly Little Hands, and he kind of thumbs through it, and then he just looks me dead in the eye, and he goes, if you had to sell this book to me with one excerpt, what page should I read? And I was like, okay, try this one. And he just sits down next to the booth and reads a chapter, and then reads a second chapter. And I'm just side-eyeing him the whole time, oh my god, this is nerve-wracking. And then he gets up and he walks back to the table and he's like, alright, I'll take it. And just hands me the money and just dips out. And I was like, dude, I respect the energy. Happy to make a sale, but also it would have been very, very funny to me if he did all that and then just handed it back and was like, not for me, and then just pieced. it was great. I big time respected that energy. I was like, look, the man knows what he wants, and he's rocking and rolling with it. There was also a burlesque show happening right after the book fair. I know, this is a rockin' place. There's a lot going on. And one of the performers came out beforehand and walked around all the booths and stuff. And I was talking with him, and I was giving him the pitch for my books, and he looks incredible, all done up for the show and everything. And he just looked at me and he's like, yeah, I don't really like books, but I figured I just had to come out and kind of put an appearance in and walk around and talk to everybody. And I was like, all right, I got you. We'll just chat instead. It was pretty good, though. There was a good crowd. People had good energy. Morning, Geogrim. Good to see you, man. Happy Monday. How you been? How's your stream been going? I know you've been finishing some art pieces. Knocking them out. Got that progress going. Win you, good morning. Welcome in. Glad to have you. Happy Monday. Y'all, holy crap. Thanks for being here. I was tired. I was off of it. I wasn't feeling it today. And look at this. We got a great turnout. So thank y'all. I appreciate you being here. I hope you're having a good Monday. And hey, I've teased it several times. Now let's actually get to some writing here. What do we say? Folks, if you got something you want to work on, if you're editing, if you're writing, maybe you're doing laundry or making a grilled cheese sandwich, whatever it is, please join me. I got 5 minutes on the clock here. I'm going to work on my next book on stream. You can see my word counter sitting at a big fat 0 there, so let's go ahead and add some words to it. Yeah, good luck, everybody, and thanks for joining in. Thanks for being here. Paul, you said, did waking up and having some coffee help you feel better? I mean, what really happened, Paul, is I woke up and I was like, I'm too tired to stream today. I'm still sick. I'm not going to do it. And I went ahead and sent that message to the Discord. And then I was like, okay, good, I can go back to sleep. So I laid back down, and I was wide awake. And I was like, man, if I'm just going to stay in bed and not actually sleep, I might as well just get up and stream. And then y'all brought the energy like you always do, and now look at this. Feels like a regular day. We're rocking and rolling, so thank you to that. I appreciate y'all. Bert, I guess you were doing laundry, huh? Alright, y'all. That timer is going. Timer's a timing, so please, if you're writing along with me, go for it. But I'm going to put some words on page here. And then we'll circle back and talk books, talk writing, reading. Any questions y'all got, you just let me know. Paul, Paul, don't think about the laundry. Just ignore it. If you ignore it, it'll go away. Promise you. That works for me. That's definitely not why. I mean, that's exactly why I'm not doing laundry right after this. Don't look in my laundry closet. I'm literally going to have to go take care of it. I should have done it this weekend, and like I said, weekend got out of hand, had no time. All right, let's get some words on page here. We gotta wake the hands up. They are stiff today. Man, I'm gonna have to create a new stream segment. We're gonna have to have like hand exercises, the stretches, and the rubbing some life into them. it'll be like joint yoga, but instead it'll be joint hand workout. How is she gonna write though? You gotta get those fingers all nice and awake and flexible. Alright, here we go. Yeah, that feels so much better. Get a quick time check. 2 minutes. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Y'all, if you're writing along with me, hey, sprint it out to the end. We got this. All right, good little sprint. We got a minute left. Whew. All right. Hope it's going well for y'all. I'm pretty happy with this one. The gears are turning in the brain. The fingers are warming up. My hands are really stiff today, though. 32 years old, and I'm sitting here like an arthritic 70-year-old. Gotta wake the knuckles up, pump some blood into the fingers. Oh boy. Hmm. Oh, I think we're due for, well, sorry, let me finish this thought. We only got 30 seconds. 30 seconds left, so I can finish one more sentence here. All right. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. A little bit lighter on the word count for that sprint, but look, first one of the day. We're warming up. We're waking up. We're warming up. We're something else that has up at the end of it to finish the trifecta. Folks, if you were sprinting along with me, let me know how it went. Hope you got more words than I did, or made a little progress there, whatever it is. But thank you. Paul throwing up. We're working up. We're warming up. We're writing up. We're throwing up. I love it. Warming up, waking up, throwing up. That's how I start every Monday. You know, that's the recipe to success right there. Paul, that's very funny. Gio, you said you're sorry you missed Fantasy Map Friday. Hey man, no worries, no worries. Hey, as always, y'all, you know, youtube.com/@author Alex Knight. If I can spell my own name, there it is. Wait. Okay, that's annoying. That YouTube tagged me instead of like actually just @space. Let's do it this way. Author Alex Knight. There we go. No, I did it again. Oh well. Interesting is yeah, there you go. You can see it. Okay, what I'm trying to say is if you go to youtube.com/@author Alex Knight, you can see the replay of Fantasy Map Friday, Gio. So feel free. Melissa Lee, welcome in. Hello. Happy Monday to you. How are you doing? It's good to see you here. How's the baby? How's our newest member of the round table? Our newest knight or squire? I hope everybody's well there. Paul, you said you have arthritis from years of working in hospitality. Sometimes my hands refuse to type. Yeah, man, that's not great. Not a fan of that. Hope you can manage it well. I did buy heated gloves a while ago, and they actually really help with writing. I'm just like working my knuckles out here. If you see my arms going, they really help with writing. They're quite nice. Maybe I need to get them out today. Actually, my hands are kind of. I don't know what I did. Maybe my hands all tired. Melissa, you said the baby's doing great, very awake, and this time I come bearing coffee. All right, hey. Gotta have the coffee to start the day. Rock on. Yeah, Paul, great point. Yo, a happy Mother's Day to Melissa. First Mother's Day, right? I don't think you've had any other kids that I know of. I mean, I'm just a random streamer, so I could be very wrong, but I believe happy first Mother's Day to you, Melissa. Very nice. I'm sure the baby brought you lots of presents for your first Mother's Day. Oh boy, all right. Folks, I have been doing, as you know, Slendy, get out of here with your heretical statements. Coffee is delicious. Don't be hating. Nah, it's all right. It's okay to be wrong, Slendy. It's okay. Sorry, I'm just so derailed, Slendy. Knocking me out with your coffee, Slendy. Nah, it's okay. My wife doesn't like coffee either. I don't even know if she likes the smell of it. Which is wild, because when I didn't like coffee, I still liked the smell. I feel like most people are that way. Exactly. See, Paul's on it. Paul knows what he's doing. You got to put enough sugar in it to make a coffee-flavored milkshake. You just got to sweeten it up a bit, and then it's good. I didn't sweeten this one enough, so I'm not loving it. Given I drink it black these days, so a fair bit of sugar is required. Other name, get out of here. How dare you be wittier than I on my own stream? Other says coffee's horrible. That's why I make it disappear so fast. So, Lindy, you do 3 spoons of sugar? Well, that's... depending on the size of the spoon, that's about where I'm at. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Y'all, so as you know, we are launching Wrigley Little Hands on May 27th. We're coming up to it. So as part of that, I have been reading a little section of it from the book each day on stream. So if you will indulge me, I would love to read a little section of it to you. Hopefully it's a good one. Got to see what we pick here. But I will say I am also working on, I've gotten the okay from the audio publisher to play an audio clip on stream. So as soon, I just got to get into the audiobook and pick what section to play. Probably I'll be able to grab that tomorrow. So maybe like Wednesday. Wednesday I'll start having some audiobook snippets to play on stream here. But y'all, it's going to be incredible. I cannot wait to show that off to you. But until I play those segments, you'll just have to settle for me giving it a read for you. So, settle in for story time. We'll read. I'll read the opening. Wrigley Little Wednesday, says Gio. Man, that's a tough thing to say. Wrigley Little Wednesday. Got to really focus on that. Yeah. So I'll read the first page or so, and then we'll pick a section from further into the book because I want to read something that introduces everybody to it, and then we'll read something that's one of the parts that I like that's particularly fun. So, welcome in, folks. We are launching Wrigley Little Hands, my comedy fantasy, on May 27th, and here is an exclusive snippet from the book for you. Chapter 1, A Wriggly Little Courier. Goblins look like if cats, hairless cats, had thumbs and learned to walk on 2 legs. But while cats are allowed to commit as many crimes as they want, on account of being cute and small, the same hasn't been true of goblins ever since they discovered arson. Today, however, it wasn't goblins setting fire to everything. Ollie had been excited, at first, when so many new friends had shown up on the plains of abandoned hope and paralyzing fear. He'd been even more excited when he'd noticed all the fun siege engines and war mammoths they'd brought along. But then his new friends, the Bright Queen and the Army of the Just, had laid siege to his old friends, the Dark Lord and his legions of smoldering shadow. In Goblin society, it was polite to greet new neighbors with a nice newt cake or a fresh pot of warmed mud. In human society, it seemed wanton slaughter was the go-to. That was how the Bright Queen had decided to introduce herself to the Dark Lord, at least. And who was Ollie to judge? Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if they could do it all a bit quieter, though. And maybe not burn down half the swamp again, especially considering that was the half he and his cousins lived in. There you go. Opening for Wrigley Little Hands. I'll put the cover up here, since it looks bad here. But there you go. There's our opening to it, our introduction to little Goblin Ollie and his world, which is beginning to change. Events are beginning to happen. But now let me grab. I want to grab a little section further in because there's a chapter in here. Slendy, you're already interested? Oh, I'm glad to hear that. That is definitely not my goal at all. Let's see. There's a specific chapter that I really love the beginning of, and I want to grab a snippet from that too. I think it's right after this one. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Let's see if the book, see, it won't pick it up. The camera won't. Maybe you can kind of see it there. There's a little doodle at the beginning of this chapter that I love. I had an artist friend do doodles for each chapter header, and I think they're adorable. I cannot wait for y'all to see them. Archangel, you said black coffee go with salt, not sugar. It'll counteract the bitterness instead of making it sweetly bitter. Yeah, that's brilliant, Archangel. I didn't know the chemical properties of it. But I do add a little sprinkle of salt to my coffee just because I've been told it's a flavor enhancer and I've always liked it. I guess I never thought about it removing the bitterness. I'm going to try that now. I'm going to give that a try. That could be really good. I kind of want to brew a second cup today and try that now. Thanks for the pro tip. I mean, you said Alton Brown taught you it too, so I trust that guy's opinion. Gio, you said you like the part in the book about arson. Talk more about that. Look, my dude, if you like the arson joke, I'm happy to say that I do follow through on it. The goblins commit many acts of arson on their adventure, both intentionally and unintentionally. It is a defining characteristic of their species in this world. Um, Paul, you love Good Eats. The show is the reason you got into cooking. Okay, rock on, man. I've not watched it too much myself. My wife loves those cooking shows. I think Top Chef, Iron Chef, Chopped, one of those three. One of those three might be a real TV show, and one of those might be the ones that she watched a lot growing up. She was a big fan of those. Okay, all right, y'all. Next part that I wanted to read you. This is from chapter 26 of Wrigley. But don't worry, no spoilers. It's just I like to start a lot of the chapters in the book with just a little comedic aside that introduces you to the world. So here is, I'll put the cover up as I do it. Here is the beginning of chapter 26, about halfway through the book. Oh, I didn't know I had a bookmark in this. For centuries, the greatest minds and magicians of the mortal realm have sought to make true flight accessible to the masses. Initial experiments with enchanted brooms had looked promising, until the sweepening. You see, enchanting an object inherently gives it a sliver of consciousness, and it turns out no one had thought to ask brooms how they felt about an eternity of cleaning dusty floors. The witches seemed to have negotiated a truce with the wild brooms, but they weren't sharing their secrets anytime soon. After that embarrassment, the aeromancy industry turned its focus to magic carpets, to equally disastrous results, at which point everyone agreed it was best to stop seeking the power of true flight through the enchantment of household objects. Currently, the foremost aero-magically gifted minds believe there's much promise to be found in dirigibles pumped full of highly flammable gases. So there you go, the lead-in to chapter 26. I'm glad you caught that, Gio. The sweepening. That is a canon event in the lore of my world. Ian, you said you're getting occasional stutters. I hope it is just you. I don't want to put that evil on you, Ricky Bobby, but I hope it is just you. Everybody else, let me know if you're getting stutters as well, so we can determine if it's my internet or Ian's internet. It's fine for you, Slendy. Fine for you, Paul. Okay, cool. Ian, I hate to put that evil on you, but I think it's just your internet. Archangel, you said, I should say, Archangel on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in there. You said we are an Alton Brown family. We have cooked many of his recipes. His eggnog is a singular reason we no longer buy store-bought eggnog. Bro, I didn't know he had his own eggnog. I need to look that up. I'm a huge eggnog fan. Alton Brown eggnog. Recipe? Wow, that seems pretty doable. All right, hey, I'm gonna keep an eye on that, man. That sounds awesome. Thank you for the shout on that one. That sounds really good. I'm looking at the recipe here, man. I'm gonna make that. Slendy, you've never had eggnog, dude. Fix that. You might hate it. It is a very special, strange, acquired taste, but boy, if it clicks for you, if it hits, it hits. Y'all, Melissa said you're a grown man with free will. Eggnog is a year-round drink if you want it to be. Look, Melissa, I'm looking at this recipe, this Alton Brown eggnog recipe, and I might have to make a special trip to the grocery store just to make some of that. Lord knows I do not need the calories, but it sounded good. It sounded real good. Well, y'all, this is a writing stream at some level. But we also talk books. We had some fun book talk earlier. That's T-A-L-K, book talk, not book talk. Oh, Melissa, you do have another child. Oh, okay. So it's not your first Mother's Day. In which case, I retract all of my Happy Mother's Day wishes for you. This is nothing new for you. But no, Artemis. That's a lovely name. That's very cool. So Artemis and Rowan are their names. Rock on. I like that. Artemis is such a cool name. Seeker, hello, my friend. Welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see ya. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Happy Monday. Ah, Rafi, you didn't miss much. We just gave out free audiobook codes for Wriggly Little Hands to everybody in stream. But they're all gone now, so we can't give it anymore. Sorry, man. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. We didn't do that. We did read a little bit. We did read a little bit from the book, though, Rafi. That was pretty funny. I read a new snippet that's not out to the public yet. We'll read it. We'll read it again tomorrow, I think. AJ, thank you for the tiny arms. Appreciate that, AJ. Welcome in, buddy. I saw you got here a long time ago. You've been hanging out for a while. What inspired the tiny out of nowhere? Appreciate you though. Seeker, nah, I'm messing with you, man. I can say, y'all, we went over this a little bit earlier. Display capture. Y'all know that I soft launched Wriggly Little Hands last week just to kind of get the book out there, right? Kind of start gathering reviews, which, by the way, thank you to my advanced reviewers. We got 10 5-star reviews so far, so I appreciate folks that read it ahead of time and help share their thoughts. But y'all, we got the paperback out, right? As we know, we soft launched it. But there's something new on this page. If you look over here, the pre-order for the ebook just went up today. So if you wanted it in ebook, you can now pre-order it. And I have spoken with my audio producer, and I am told the audiobook should be there today as well. So if you want to pre-order ebook or audiobook, you can do so. So, woo! Pretty happy about it. AJ, you said you got to drop one tiny per stream. Well, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Melissa Archangel on YouTube is your old man. He wanted to name one of the kids Jetched after a Final Fantasy. I don't know how to say that name. I'm not steeped enough in the Final Fantasy lore. But you shot it down. I think Rowan and Artemis are very good names. That sounds like a powerful siblings there. They could come right out of the Percy Jackson books, it feels like. Nice. My phone alarm's going off, y'all. Remember when I said that I woke up today and I was like, I'm going to stay in bed. I set phone alarms for 8 o'clock. So I pivoted and instead got up. And now the phone alarm's going off to remind me to get up. But joke's on the phone alarm because I'm already here with y'all. We're already having a good time. You said, Rafi, I don't know if you saw my girlfriend's dad left his review, then sent all your books to the Tribes GC. Tribes GC, what is that, Rafi? But thank you for the reviews. I appreciate that. One of my most avid readers now, your girlfriend's dad, tore through all of my books. I appreciate that, man. So, y'all, I asked it earlier, but I'll ask it again. What's something you've read recently that you've been excited about? What have you been reading? What have y'all been into? I'd like to say that I've been reading a lot, but I've been writing too much editing, too much work. But we're 2 weeks out from launching Wriggly Little Hands, and once we do that, I will be able to read again. I'm excited. Life will slow down, and I'll be able to focus on one thing instead of launching 3 books at once like we have done the beginning of this year, which is a little bit much. Maybe I will not do 3 books in a row again like that. I had one in March, one in April, and now one in May. Too much too soon. Nikki Yasha, thank you for following. I appreciate you being here, my friend. Happy Monday to you. I hope it's going well. Maria, hello, welcome in. What specifically? What specific tips are you looking for on publishing? I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Let me know. Rafi, you were trying to say TikTok won't let you send a group and then chat with me after the other. It's probably some sort of filter thing. So you're saying your dad left his review, then sent the book to the group chat. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I really do. Please tell your girlfriend's dad that I appreciate him greatly. Maria, you said where to start with publishing in general. Well, Maria, the first thing I suppose, if you're thinking about that, is you got to think what sort of publishing do you want? Do you want to go traditional publishing, or small press publishing, or self-publishing? Those are kind of the three main routes. Traditional is kind of what you'd expect, like with a literary agent trying to go with one of the big publishing houses and then getting your books into Barnes and Noble and I don't know, Books A Million and all those big stores on shelves, basically. That's TradPub, traditional publishing. There's also small press, where very similar process to traditional publishing. You just query smaller, independent or just smaller publishers. Often does not require a literary agent. You can query straight to the publisher. And that'll be, you probably won't end up in it depends on your publisher. But you probably would end up mostly on online stores. You'll have a smaller campaign for your book and whatnot, but it can be very successful, especially for a first book. It's a good place to start. Plus, you're going to be working more closely with the publisher. It's being a smaller team and whatnot. So there's a lot of merit to small press. A lot of my stuff is small press. And then there's self-pub, where you basically do everything yourself. You write the book, you hire an editor, you hire a cover artist, you pick where you want to publish your book, be that Amazon or Kobo or Ingram Spark, etc. And then you manage your whole marketing campaign and all your ads and whatnot. For TradPub or small press, a publisher would handle a lot of that for you. If you're going self-pub, it's all up to you, which can be fun. Some people find that very exciting. They get to make their own decisions and pivot as they want and figure out what they're doing. Some people find it overwhelming. And really, it's just about what experience you're looking for. Happy to tell me kind of what you're looking for in your publishing journey. I can try to point you towards one. Seeker, you're halfway through The Rhythm of War. You're excited to finish because it's too long. Let me look it up. I'm not sure I know that one. Oh, it's a Sanderson. I understand. I'm right there with you, my guy. I every time I try to pick up a Sanderson book, I just look at how long it is, and I'm like, I don't have time to read that much right now. I can't commit to 600-700 pages. We just ain't gonna get there, being realistic. Maria, you're welcome. I hope that answer helped. But please ask any questions you have whenever. I'm always happy to talk about it. It's part of what we do here. Technically, most days I do more writing, more writing on stream, but we're easing into the week on this Monday. I had a crazy weekend, so we'd rather just chat with y'all a little bit. But nonetheless, we will do another writing sprint here in a moment. So let's get that timer up. We're gonna do that here in a second. Paul, you said I always ask what books you're reading, but you're just reading this guy, Alex Knight. Alex Knight, I never heard of him. I ain't never read any of his books before. Definitely you couldn't find them right here on Amazon in ebook, audiobook, and paperback. Yeah, no, for real though, y'all. If you don't know me, welcome in. I'm Alex Knight. We stream here every weekday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time, always doing something creativity, writing, fantasy focused. And today we're kind of just talking about books and publishing, and if you're interested in those sort of things, these are my books up here. You can find them all on Amazon. Top row is fantasy, bottom row is lit RPG. If any of the covers catch your attention, please do shout them out. Happy to talk about them. But yeah, welcome in, y'all. Thank you for being here. Melissa, you have to go. Nah, you got adult things to do. I get you. Hey, give the baby a little high five from me. I don't know. You probably can't give him high fives yet, but you got to start teaching him early, right? Yeah, thanks for dropping by, Melissa. It was good to see you. Paul, you got to start breakfast. No worries, man. Thanks for being here as well. Good to see you. Melissa, you got it. Let's go. For everybody else hanging around, thank you for being here. Impage, welcome. Good morning, my friend. Good to see you. How was your weekend? And Jack Ann, hello. You said, didn't you have an event recently over the weekend? Yeah. Hey, let me pull up the pictures again real quick. We talked about it a bit earlier, but I'm happy to mention it again because that's what we do here. So let's grab these pictures. switch over to display capture. Yeah, we did a book fair, an adult book fair over the weekend, Friday night actually. So yeah, I just set up at a brewery with a bunch of other authors and some local bookstores, and it went really well. So very happy with that. It was great, Jack Ann. We sold out of every book we brought, basically. The only thing, we had one copy of Rise to Glory left and 30 something copies of Wrigley Little Hands left, which sounds like a lot, but I brought 60 of them with me. So we sold out of pretty much everything we had. It was wild. It was super cool. Got a bunch of photos of folks that were buying my books in person. Got to talk to them about them, sign them, personalize them to them. Felt like a real big author boy, you know. Maybe I can do this job. It was fun. It was really good. Really good event. I'll definitely go back and do more. But I got to order more books. I sold out of all the author copies that I had around the house. A lot of those had been here for a while, and it was a weird feeling to kind of like part with them. But at the same time, now they're out in the hands of readers everywhere. So that's super cool. It was a great event. It was exhausting, but it was really good. Thank you for asking about it, Jack Ann. And Mama J, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. How you doing this Monday morning? Welcome in. Glad to see you. Glad to have you. Sloyd, you said you're reading The Far Wild by this Alex Knight guy. It's pretty enjoyable so far. Just wish my kids would allow me to get through one interrupted chapter. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Sloyd. Rock on, dude. Who's your favorite character so far? Who's standing out for you? Aldondo, you said that's awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Seeker, you said hopefully I got some good beer. You know, Seeker, actually I was drinking mead. They had mead at the brewery, and I'm definitely a mead fan, so that was awesome. Look, I had books to sell, mead to drink, readers to talk to, and they had a giant TV screen outside that was playing playoff hockey. Like, I was in paradise, y'all. It was incredible. It was like 78 degrees outside, too, which is cool for Houston at this time of year. We were rocking. There were other authors there we were talking with. There were bookstores, independent bookstores everywhere. It was a darn good event. They're going to do another one in September. I'll definitely be back for it. Mama J, you said you just came across my stream. Well, hey, welcome in. We're glad to have you. We're here every morning, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time, and we're always doing something fantasy or writing focused. On Fridays, our special Fridays, we make fantasy maps on stream. So that's always fun. We are getting near finishing the map we've been working on together. So I think this Friday and maybe next Friday, if we need it, we'll finish it, and then we'll do a new map. So that's going to be exciting. But we always do something interesting. We got a game we play sometimes where we roll dice to see what we're going to write, and then we do like writing prompts that help you get better at writing based on what the dice tell us. And then some days we just kind of chat and do writing sprints. So I'm going to get another writing sprint queued up here. So how this is going to work, y'all, is I got 5 minutes on the clock right there. And I'm going to work on my next book during that time. And I encourage y'all, if you got anything you want to work on, please, during those 5 minutes. Maybe you want to write. Maybe you're doing laundry. Maybe you're doing breakfast. Whatever it is, please, by all means. Impage, you said weekdays not the funnest. I got a new job, 6:30 to 3, so I've been having to miss the stream. Oh, I'm sorry, Impage. I'm sorry to hear that, man. But I'm glad you got a new job. I hope it's good. Hope it's fun. Hope it pays well. And hey, as always, you know, you can catch the VODs, the replays on youtube.com at author Alex Knight. The replays are there. Please feel free to watch them. But we'll miss you, Impage. We'll miss you. Maybe I'll have to do some more off-hours streaming so we can get you in there. All right, y'all. Hey, I teased that we're going to do a writing sprint, so let's do it. We got 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get some words on page, because I am way below my targeted word count today. Impage, the new job pays money. Hey, that's the bare minimum. It pays money, so that puts food on the table. That keeps you going. So I'm glad it does that at least. I hope it does more. I hope it's enjoyable. But if not, at least it pays, and it can be hopefully a launch pad to something better. But all right, y'all. The timer is a timing. So let's get to typing. Spork, you said definitely do more off-hours stream. I'd love to catch more. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I will. I'm leading up to the launch of Really Little Hands here for the next 2 weeks. So that book's the last big busy stretch for me of this beginning of this year. So as soon as that's out, work will calm down a little bit, and I'll be able to do more off-hour stream. Because right now, y'all, I don't even want to look at my calendar for today. I got so much stuff to do. I do not know how I'm going to do it all today. But for right now, we're writing, so we don't got to worry about that. Anyway, all that to say, more off-hour streams in the future, for sure. For sure. Maybe we'll do another Rocket League stream here in a little bit. I'd love to do that. I appreciate the question, Impage. Let me finish up this writing sprint and we'll talk about it. Oof, boy, typos everywhere, y'all. It was like 3 words in a row, all spelled horribly wrong. All right, let's get a time check. How we doing there? I cannot see it while I'm writing, so I just got to guess. All right, minute 45, not too bad. Let's keep it going, y'all. If you're writing along with me, please do keep on sprinting here. I'm going to see if I can get a few more sentences in this last 90 or so seconds. Wake the hands up, stretch them out. All right, I'm sure that time is up. Oh, okay, we had 6 seconds left, but That was a good writing sprint there. I really hit my flow. Had some good ideas kind of came to me in it, so I'm happy with that. Y'all, if you were sprinting along with me, please do let me know how it went for you. I think it was at 170 words to start this. So let's see how many I added. Well, I guess I know. I was at 170, and we will subtract that from 384, and through the magic of the calculator, we will know that we wrote 214 words on that sprint. All right, I dig it. That was a good sprint for me. Y'all, I hope it went well for you. Let me know. Impage, you asked, do I have a supplemental job aside from writing? I do not, Impage. Writing's my full-time job. That's why I'm able to put out books as fast as I do. I am very lucky to be able to have this job. It does not pay well. It does not pay well. And it is not reliable income, but it has been reliable enough that I still am here doing it. And I'm absolutely flattered that I get to do it every day. It's truly a dream come true. Growing up, I always said, if I can just write my books and survive off of them, that's the dream. And that's what we've achieved. Now we're trying to write the books and have like decent financial security, but look, one thing at a time, right? Right now we can write them and we can still put some food on the table. So, amazingly, I do get to do this. I am very grateful for it. Geo, thank you very much for the Let 'em Cook. I was definitely rocking and rolling on that word sprint. Very appropriate. I really liked some. I kind of it's spoilery, so I can't share what I just did, but I really wanted to share it with y'all because I was a big fan of it. But we'll get there. We'll get there in time. Slendy, you don't gotta apologize for leaving, my guy. Your dog was making noises in his sleep. Totally fine, dude. Totally fine. Tehuv, hey, welcome in, guy. Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate your words of encouragement. How you doing on this Monday morning? I hope you're rocking and rolling. A good start to the week. You have a good weekend. Thank you for the follow as well. Hey man, appreciate that. Y'all, if you don't know, I'm author Alex Knight, and we're here every weekday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. Always streaming something. Writing, creativity, fantasy focus, talking about books and publishing. I'm always happy to answer your publishing questions, your book questions, or just talk about books in general. You know, we're just trying to start the day with some good vibes. Some days we do writing games. Some days we just do writing. And y'all, if you don't know, Fridays we make fantasy maps live on stream, y'all. That has been a massive hit. We had our best stream ever last Friday with that fantasy map stream. So please don't miss Friday. I know it's a long way off looking at it here for Monday, but whoo boy, Friday we have a good time. Y'all want to see the map we've been working on? I can pull it up real quick. Let's see. I need to change my setting to show it. Oh, there we go. It picked it up automatically. Thank you, OBS. You're so good at what you do. It's loaded. Give it 1 second. I'll center it. There we go. Okay, it's not perfectly centered. But y'all, this is the map we've been making. We were working around here last Friday on our little town of Wheatmere. And then we put a little sand serpent living on the beach out there. And yeah, it's been good. It's been good fun. We're gonna keep going with it, but that's not till Friday. So y'all make sure you come back on Friday for our Fantasy Map Fridays, and the rest of the week we'll be playing some sort of writing game on stream, doing something, having fun. David Knows, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, my guy. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing well. Happy Monday. Sloyd, you said I think my favorite character is and will continue to be Senecio. Hey, rock on. I'm with you. Senecio is one of my greatest creations, one of my most difficult characters to write, and he is so freaking fun. So I'm glad you like him. I know he's a bit much. I've had a couple people that are like, this guy's way over the top. But that's kind of the goal, right? I wanted him to be a bit over the top and then kind of worm his way into your heart. Hey, Spirit, thank you for the question. I will answer in just a moment here, because first I just want to say, Tehuv, you said doing pretty well. I got to see some family over the weekend. You're going to follow my lead and outline for a little bit. Rock on, man. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Good luck to you. If you have any questions, please do let us know. 46, hello. Welcome in, man. Yeah, no, we were just previewing Fantasy Map Friday. We're not doing any actual map making today as much as I would like to do that every single day on stream. We were just setting a lead for it, letting folks know come back on Friday. We're gonna be having some fun. Spirit Wanders, you said, how do you recommend starting a novel / an idea for a novel? It's a good question, Spirit. Thank you for asking. Really, what I say is just you got to focus in on an idea that's most exciting for you. What's the thing that you're really just itching to do, right? What's a scene that you can't help but write, or an idea that you just can't get out of your head? Focus in on that. Think about what you like to read, the kind of stories you like to listen to, and then tell one of your own. If you're just starting out, I would say don't start with novels. Everybody likes to jump into going for novels right off the bat, and I get why. It's what we read. It's what we enjoy, right? But here's a little industry secret for you. Short stories are a lot quicker than novels. They're a lot easier to write, but they require all the same elements that make novels good. They need a beginning, a middle, and end. They need characters, conflict, resolution. But instead of doing that over 100,000 words, or 400-ish paperback pages, you do it over 2 to 10,000 words. Much shorter, much easier, but there's a lot of value in it. It's kind of like practicing before you go run a marathon. You take it in little steps. That's what a short story is to a novel. You get to practice everything you need for a novel, but you do it in 5,000, 10,000 words instead of 100,000. And the secret bonus to this is you can submit to short story contests. Any short story contest will be free. Any reputable one will be free. They'll have industry professional judges that evaluate everything. So it's a great way to get practice, essentially. A lot of folks, when they're getting into writing, they start with the short story grind. So that's where I recommend you starting. Outline, try to do a 5,000 word short story off the bat. That's 5 short chapters, basically. Do 1,000 word chapters. Or maybe it's 3 mid-length chapters. But just do a bullet point for what is, like, think about what's the most dramatic, crazy point of your story. Like, what's the craziest scene you can imagine? Describe it in a bullet point, maybe 2 to 3 sentences. Make that the ending of your book. Then go back a little bit and say, what were the things that made this happen? Like, how did we build to this point, right? Do a bullet point for that. That's going to be the midpoint of your book. And then take it even further back and say, what's the earliest point that I could imagine, kind of these events beginning? Where do they begin at? That's going to be the start of your story. And then once you have those 3 bullet points, you have a basic outline. You can fill in the events between them that, led from the starting point to the midpoint to the end point. And then just try to write it. That's kind of my quick little breakdown. And then, hey, don't worry. Don't doubt yourself. Don't worry that it doesn't make sense or it's not good, all that stuff. We are always our own harshest critics. Just have fun. Just chase the passion. Write the story idea that sounds interesting to you. Edit it once you're done. Submit it to a contest, and then do it again. You get better. Writing's like anything. You get better with practice. So it's really just about writing those stories over and over and over again. And that's why I say to do short stories, because you could write 10 short stories in the time it takes you to write a novel. Better to get that practice 10 times than to get it just one time. So yeah, there's my long spiel about how to get started. But Spirit, please, as you go along that journey, as you walk that path, ask any questions you got. I'm always happy to talk about it. That's a big part of what we do here. So glad you're interested in it, Spirit, and I hope it goes well for you. Please help us. Let us help you along the way. We're more than happy to. By the way, as I was in my long rambling spiel there, Chris Wolcott, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate that. Welcome in. Happy Monday to you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good weekend. And Tehu, you said you got to see some family over the weekend. Rock on, man. I'm glad. That sounds like a nice weekend. Thank you for being here, everybody. I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you do not know, I am author Alex Knight. I've been writing full-time since 2018. Here's some of my book ones. The top row's fantasy. The bottom row's lit RPG. If any of them look interesting to you, please shout out a cover, and I'm happy to tell you what it's all about. But you can find all these books on Amazon. Just type the title in. They're available in ebook, paperback, and audiobook. And you can read more about them at authoralexknight.com. There's my sales pitch. But y'all, welcome in. We're here every week, every weekday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time, just hanging out, having a good time, doing something fantasy focused. So thank you for joining me. Impage, you got to head off to work. Hey, man, thank you for being here while you could. I hope the day goes well. I hope the job goes well. We appreciate seeing you as long as we can. Thanks for being here, man. Geogrim, you said, do you work on a story in sequential order, or do you jump between chapters? Geo, great question. A lot of authors do it differently. Yo, I am a one-track mind kind of guy. I got to do my chapters in order, just as the events of the story progress, because I'm really good if I can focus on one thing, but when we start jumping around, my mind just goes everywhere. That's part of why the beginning of this year has been so difficult for me, because we launched 2 books already, and we're launching a 3rd one in 2 weeks. So the first 5 months of the year, I'll have launched 3 books. It has been way too much jumping from one launch to the other one's writing to editing another one, then launching that one. I'm all over the place with it. So I just want to settle in and focus on one thing at a time. And that's what we're going to do here after we launch Wriggly Little Hands, which, by the way, folks, if you don't know, this is my next launch. Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy about a family of goblins who go on a road trip for the Dark Lord and try to do evil and find out they're not as evil as they think they are. And also they mess everything up at every turn, as you would imagine a party of goblins would do. So it's a fun one. That's coming out May 27th. Oh boy, y'all, we're rocking and rolling here today. The coffee has been drank. Now we're onto the water. And gonna keep on going for at least a little bit longer here. Rafi, you said, how do you deal with the overload of ideas within one story while writing? That's a good question, Rafi. That's really the one-track mind thing. I just focus on writing the story chronologically, one chapter to the next. And I try to stick to that a little bit. But you got to leave room for creative ideas to get in there so you can pivot. So you can pivot when the new idea comes. No, it's not change your book entirely, but you got to allow a little bit of creative freedom in there, right? Ziff Metric. Hey, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Happy Monday to you. You asked, do you have the audiobooks release with the print/ebook at the same time? Yes, Ziff. I typically do a simultaneous release, so ebook, paperback, and audiobook all at the same time. All these books up here have done that except for Wriggly Little Hands. For Wriggly, we are trying a bit of a soft launch strategy. It's kind of a new thing I've seen some folks doing, and I'm interested to see how it goes. The basic principle is we release the paperback quietly. We soft launch it ahead of time, and we let it gather reviews from the advanced review team and whatnot, and kind of populate that sale page. And then we're going to drop ebook and audio at the same time. So let's go over to here. Here's the Amazon listing for it. So you can see we have the paperback. That's already up and out right here. So you could technically get the paperback of it now if you wanted to. But the ebook just went on pre-order today, and the audiobook should be joining later today. So we'll be in the pre-order phase, and then in 2 weeks we're going to do the full launch. So we're trying a bit of a new strategy for this one, but in past we have always done simultaneous release. Yeah, it's we're kind of figuring it out, Ziff. Always trying to find better ways to sell books and better launches, so that's what we'll be doing. Rafi, you asked, do you have a blueprint that I use, or do I just let the ideas keep flowing? Well, Rafi, I outline my books with my skeleton outline approach, which I've talked about before. Y'all can let me know if you want me to go over that again. But that outline keeps me to the narrative ideas, the main ideas of the story, but allows creative freedom if a better idea comes up. Because y'all, I often thrive best writing and working through the book, and then I'll have an idea as I'm writing, and I'm like, oh wow, that changes everything. And I think it makes it's just my flow, it's my creative flow for how I do it. I like to have a general outline, but enough room to pivot if the fancy takes me. Ziff, I'm glad that answer helped you. Glad you found it interesting. Thank you for asking. Please, if you have any other questions, let me know. We're always writing or talking books on stream here, so maybe we get to some of the writing phase. I got a 5-minute timer set the way... Oh, I see, Rafi. I see. Hold on. You said more so, what do you do if the ideas keep going beyond the blueprint? So I have to, basically in that situation, Rafi, I would evaluate, are they still good for the story? Do they make sense in a plot arc? Or do they not really belong in the story? And you just kind of you kind of got to make that call as you go. It's something you get better at doing the more you practice it. But I will say, if the ideas keep going, there's nothing wrong with chasing them. Follow that passion, because when you're in the editing phase of things, you can always cut down the book. Editing, you're always going to remove more words than you're going to add. At least you should. That's the logic of it. So it's always good to end your first draft with more writing than you need, and then in editing you come and you trim it, you cut it down to make a nice polished product, and you trim the fat off the story. So I would say if the ideas are going beyond your outline, but beyond your blueprint, totally fine, no worries. Chase them and follow that passion, and then in editing, strip it down to its core, the best parts of it. I hope that helps. Feel free to clarify though if that did not answer it fully. Oh, Rafi, I'm glad it helped. I've said it a lot over these days. I'm only good at explaining it because I've lived it so much, and then I've talked to people about it enough that you start getting good at it. But thank you. I'm glad it helps. I had something else I wanted to talk about, and I totally lost it in there. But hey, folks, thanks for being here. We're going to do one more writing sprint for the day. So if that's something you want to join in on, let's see. We got our 5-minute timer here. We're gonna start that countdown, and I'm gonna work on my next book on stream, and I encourage y'all to write along with me if you want. Oh, I know what it was. Harpy, you sent 10 club cheers, and I did not acknowledge it. I am sorry. Thank you, thank you, Harpy. That was super kind of you. I appreciate that. I know that the icon for that is like several hearts, but for some reason to me, whenever I see it, I see like a mushroom or a fungus, like one of those what are the clickers from The Last of Us? It looks like one of their heads to me when the icon is really small. So I know that it's just like Team Cheers heart, but it does look a bit like that, and it always puts me in that mindset when I see it. Nonetheless, thank you for sending it. So y'all, we're gonna pivot and do a little bit of writing here. If it's your first time with us, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this 5-minute countdown, and I'm gonna write during that time. I encourage y'all to write along with me, or had a couple folks working on editing. Maybe you're doing laundry, maybe you're making breakfast, whatever it is. During that time, please do feel free to work on it. And at the end of that time, we'll circle back, see how everybody did, and maybe take a few more questions. Maybe wrap things up. So, if you're going to write along with me, y'all, hey, good luck. I wish you well. Ziff, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, my guy. Rock on. Thank you very much. But yo, for now, the timer is a timin', and we should get to writing. So, for the next 4 minutes, 50 seconds, let's see what we can do, writing-wise. I'm going to wake the hands up again. They got a little cold in between these sprints. Oh, stretch them out. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, the ideas are just flowing right now. I finally got there. We hit a stretch, and I'm just like, I'm locked in. So thank you, everybody that's popping in, coming in to say hi. It's good to see you. I apologize if it seems like I'm ignoring you for the next 2 minutes or so, but oh boy, the ideas were finally. We took a couple times to kind of get the ideas flowing, but now they're here. So I need to record these before I forget them. All right, 2 minutes left. Y'all, I hope your sprint's going well. Finish strong. Plenty of time left, but finish strong. Let's get those words in there. Or if you're editing, cut those words out, I suppose. It feels a bit contradictory. I'm going to keep going here. I appreciate the likes. Thank you very much, y'all. The likes and the follows. A lot of follows today, too, for what I would consider a low energy, tired stream, but I don't know. I guess we're having a good time. So thank you, guys. I'm glad that you're finding value in it. All right, let's finish up this sprint. And in the meantime, y'all, look, if you got any questions about books, about writing, publishing, you want to talk about tropes, you want to talk about the industry, what books you're reading, any of that stuff, throw it in chat. Throw it in chat because I got 56 seconds left on this writing sprint, and then I'm going to be back. Be back to chat with everybody. Thank you for the question, Cheesehead, and the follow, my guy. Thank you. Welcome in. I can talk to you about that here in just a moment. I'm not sure I have the best answer. I have what works for me, and I know a little bit about the ergonomics of sitting at a desk for long hours, so maybe we can help with that. But let me finish these next 2-3 sentences, and we'll get to it. Appreciate you asking. All right. Oh boy, that was a good sprint. Good words there. Let's see what the total was. I know where I started at, so I can scroll back on the page. No way. No way I did 332. That's way too high. Hold on. Let's get a calculator here. Yeah, no. That was a little bit... I must be on the wrong place. It's got to be here. 291. That feels a bit more right. All right, but hey, we'll take it. That's a good sprint. We ended up with a pretty good word goal despite slacking a bit today. We were taking it a little bit easy on this Monday, maybe after a long, hard weekend. But Cheesehead, all right, my friend, you asked a question. You said, what is the best posture to sit at to avoid pain in the wrist when typing? I have a keyboard that is just like this one. There's one here. With a pad as well, and you use wrist braces. Maybe you're just a lost cause. Well, Cheesehead, the number one thing I found, because I have struggled with this as well, heat helps a lot when the wrist is hurting. I bought heated gloves, like fingerless gloves, so I can still type, but they have heat pads in them. That has helped me a lot for I don't know, just kind of having the heat on my hands helps a lot when they're already hurting. The best way to avoid the pain is just when you're off work, when you don't have to be at the keyboard, don't be. You'll heal more, you'll rest more if you can do things that are just not at the desk. I know it's not fun. Like I write for a living and then I game on my computer as well. So like my poor hands get a lot of workout from that by being at the computer during work hours and away from work hours. But no, Slindy's spot on about the stretches. I actually went to my doctor about wrist pain from when I was in a really heavy deadline phase and I was writing like so much. There's look up. I believe he said it was pianist hand stretches. Yeah. So he said to look into like look up YouTube videos for stretches that piano players do to warm up. That helps me a lot. I do those when my hands are acting up. I do that a lot. You'll see me like go and like bend my hand back like this. That helps a lot. Pushing here. But look up YouTube videos on pianist hand stretches. That helps a lot for me. Beyond that, though, it's really about mitigating the pain before it happens. For posture, theoretically, you should be sitting up straight, which you can watch me, and I'll slouch down more and more as the stream goes on. But you want to be sitting up straight. You want your elbows back, like in line with your torso, and you want your elbow bent at a 45-degree angle or a 90-degree angle. So nice, right angle there, and then resting casually on your desk. I'm stretched out a little bit, to get my hands on keyboard. Like I'm stretched here. If mine were actually at 90 degrees with my elbows back, they'd sit about here, and you'd type right here. Obviously, I'm not following my own rules, but that's the stuff that I looked up that helped me. And then I find it's really just about load, it's about how much you work. I only ever have wrist pain when I write in like a deadline, and I'm just like really grinding it out. So it's just, manage the load, manage how long you're at the keyboard, and then try all those other things. And the biggest one, like I said, for me is I got a pair of fingerless gloves that have heat pads in them, so I can plug them in and it pumps heat in for my hands. And then the other one is do those stretches before you get working. Do those stretches. So I hope that helps. But if you have further questions or it doesn't help enough, please feel free to ask again. We'll keep talking about it. We'll see if we can find you an answer. Seth, you said what games? Man, I'm playing a lot of old school Pokemon right now. I got that on my phone and it has been a revelation for me. But I play Rocket League. I play Marvel Rivals. I love my old school MMOs, playing a lot of Lord of the Rings online. I say I'm playing all these. I'm working so much that I haven't had time to play them lately, except for Pokemon, because I can lay down in bed and play it into the day. But those are the games that I enjoy playing when I have time. So as soon as we launch this book, I'll have time again to play them more. Other name, you said I bet guitar is a good cross trainer for typing muscles too. Yeah, I could see that. You get those fingers, strengthen them up a little bit. Makes sense. Slindy, you said whenever my wrist starts hurting, I just have to stop using the keyboard for like a day. Yeah, no, Slindy, that is the answer. It's all about load, right? When you do too much, you just gotta step away and relax a little bit. So we're not made to do the same thing. We're not machines. We're not made to do the same thing mechanically every day over and over again. Geo and who was it? Who brought that question? Breadman. I love the discussion of Gandalf's power level late in the series. Geo, you say you could body the Balrog? Probably he could. He comes back a lot stronger, so I could see it. Spirit Wanderers, you say, or Slendy, you said Rivals. You play that too. Rock on. What's your favorite class to main? You on tank, DPS, or support, or I guess they call it what? Duelist, Vanguard, or Strategist? I don't know why they renamed the classic classes. It's DPS, tank, or support. Spirit, you said, does anyone else use voice to text if you're really struggling with pain? Yeah, Spirit, I have tried that. It works pretty well, and it's only getting better. And I know that several authors, friends of mine, use voice to text to write. They just dictate to their computer and then come through and clean it up, and that's what works for them. It's very much it's a different skill though to be able to do that. I find that my creative thoughts flow best from brain to hands to keyboard. When I'm speaking, it's like introducing another step that kind of breaks my creative flow. So it's really just about what works for you. But like I said, I know professional authors that write through voice to text. So please feel free to give it a try if that's more natural to you. Totally. I also know when authors get stuck. I know several that go on walks and they'll dictate into their phone as they walk, because the physical activity of walking frees up the creative energy. For me, it's working out. I find that I have to maintain at least 2 to 3 workouts a week, because my body has to be adequately tired physically to allow my brain to function the best creatively. It's definitely an interplay there. If I don't work out, I find my creativity stifled. So it's about, explore these things and find where your creative process lies in there. Ziff, you said, do you have a daily word count you have to hit? I do set a daily word goal when I'm in a writing time. Right now we're in book launch time, so I'm doing a lot of book launch stuff. So that's really, like, if I look at my calendar today, let's pull it up. After stream, I have I'm doing a little bit of editing. I need to do some planning for a novella. And then I've got a lot of work that's focused around launch. So, like, planning when certain ads are going to go live, finalizing things on Amazon listing, looking at categories the book should be in, stuff like that. Stuff that I really don't enjoy. I just want to write books, but this next one I'm doing is self-pub, so I got to do all that extra stuff for it. But Ziff, in a roundabout way of answering your question, yes, when I'm writing, which is my ideal place to be, I do about 2,400 words a day. That's a chapter a day for me. That works for me comfortably to be able to do over the long run. That might not be your word goal. It can be less. I know a lot of folks where it's more. What's most important is not how many words you can write in a day, but how many words you can write in a day sustainably. Because it's really writing. You only really make good progress when you can consistently do it. And the more often you consistently do it, the easier it becomes for you, because it becomes a routine, becomes a habit. So focus not on total word count, but what word count you can hit every day that you want to write. That's my number one tip. Rafi, you said, I noticed you and many other authors write with shorter sentences. Is that style or standard? It's style, really, Rafi, but I think what plays into it as well is we want our writing to be as approachable to as many people as possible, and shorter sentences do that. But really, it's about variance. What you should do is you should have several short sentences, break up the pace with a medium sentence, and then every once in a while you sprinkle in a really long sentence that breaks up the flow. Let me Google real quick, because there's a great excerpt that shows that. I want to see if I can find it. I've seen it many times before, and it's really good. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Here it is. So it looks like, I don't know who, this example is from Gary Provost, quoted in Roy Peter Clark, from the book Writing Tools, published in 2008. I find this incredibly useful for thinking about sentence flow. So, this sentence has 5 words. Here are 5 more words. 5-word sentences are fine, but several together become monotonous. Listen to what is happening. The writing is getting boring. The sound of it drones. It's like a stuck record. The ear demands some variety. Now listen. I vary the sentence length, and I create music. Music. The writing sings. It has a pleasant rhythm, a lilt, a harmony. I use short sentences, and I use sentences of medium length. And sometimes, when I am certain the reader is rested, I will engage him with a sentence of considerable length, a sentence that burns with energy and builds with all the impetus of a crescendo, the roll of the drums, the crash of the cymbals, sounds that say, listen to this, it's important. So I really like that. I really like that for explaining how to do sentence length. You want to do short sentences to get information across. And then you break it up with a medium sentence. It's a little more weighty. Do a couple more short sentences, and then when you get to like your point, something very important, you can hit it with a longer sentence that has emphasis and flow and builds. I would define a long sentence as, I don't know an exact word count, 60 to 200 words probably. That's a very long sentence. Use those sparingly. But really, what's most important is following your natural flow. Do what makes the most sense for you creatively. I like to write as I talk. I talk in a lot of sentence fragments, so you'll see I have a lot of sentence fragments in my writing. And also then vary that based on the narrator. If your narrator is you, then yeah, you can mirror it on how you speak. But if you have a character like, say, Sinicio from The Far Wild, who is flamboyant, and he's narrating, then the narration should match that. By the way, Neo, thank you very much for the roses, my friend. I appreciate you. That was super generous, and welcome in. I saw you popped in earlier. I'm sorry I didn't call it out, but welcome in, my friend. Glad to have you, and thank you for the roses. I hope your weekend was good. I hope your weekend was good. I hope your Monday's starting off good. Let's keep it going, huh? Make it a good week. Catching up on chat here. You said you're going to get some writing done yourself today since your car's in the shop. Hey, perfect excuse, right? Car's in the shop. I guess you just got to sit around and do some writing, man. Rock on. Hope it goes well for you. Breadman asks, have I read a Kotar, A Court of, what is it, Thorns and Roses? I've not read it, Breadman, but I am tempted. Because I realized it has more fantasy chops than I expected. Like I was watching a long review of it, and I was like, this thing's got more fantasy in it than I thought. Like I know it's romance and whatnot, but the fantasy element seemed pretty intense, so I'm considering reading it. Neo, I have not read those 2 chapters you posted yet. I basically worked all weekend, so I was saying earlier, I got to catch up on the Discord and stuff. I'm gonna look into it after stream here. Because I am way behind on like everything that happened in my own Discord this weekend. Whew, boy, but that's what happens when you go to a book fair, sell books in person, spend all day unpacking and doing kind of accounting and inventory from that, and then same thing Sunday. So I needed a long, restful weekend, y'all, and I did not get it. But we're gonna find that rest at some point somehow. I'm saying that while looking at my calendar for this week. I have a lot of work to do. That's okay. We're 2 weeks away from launch. Once that book's launched, we can start slowing down a little bit. But hey, pro tip, y'all, do not launch 3 books in 5 months to start off your year. It's insane. It is not good. You don't get enough attention on all the launches that they deserve, and you are overworked. So spread out your launches a little bit. Breadman, you asked how the book fair was. Dude, the book fair went really well. Mez, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good time. Breadman, you asked how it went. I left up my Instagram post. I should do more, but I've been too busy to really I got some video content. I need to make a TikTok about it, etc., etc. But I was so busy at it that I didn't really even have time to post. But it went really well. We sold out of everything we brought, except for one singular copy of Rise to Glory and extra copies of Wrigley Little Hands, but only because I brought 60 copies of Wrigley and I still sold more than half of those, as well as I sold out of every other book that I brought. So it was awesome. It was a great time. It was almost sad by the end of the fair because by the end of it, there was nothing left on my table. And I went from this beautiful table with all my books on it to just nothing left. And I was sad about it, but then I was like, well, that's because you sold them all, so that's a good thing. So, yeah, it went really well. I was really happy with it. And what's the word? Dovetailing, following that? I don't know. My brain ain't working. Following that, y'all, exciting news to announce today. You know that I soft launched Wrigley Little Hands, the paperback version, last week. So if you were interested in the paperback, you can go ahead and get it now. On Amazon, and if you are one of my advanced reviewers, please do remember to drop your review of it. But anyway, we soft launched, but you notice there's something new here on the Amazon page. The Kindle ebook, or the ebook pre-order went live today, and I'm told by my audio publisher that the audiobook will be live for pre-order as well later today. So if you wanted to reserve your copy of Wrigley Little Hands, you can now do it. Very excited. We're 2 weeks out from launch, and I cannot wait to get there and get this book to y'all. Which, speaking of y'all, as we lead up to launch, I'm doing a little thing on stream. I'm reading you snippets of the book because I want y'all to kind of know what's going on with it and tease it a little bit. So if you'll oblige me real quick, I would love to read you the opening of it, and then one other little jokey part that I read earlier that folks were having a good time with. So let me find it. I think I'm in the wrong part of the book. You know, I could just pull this document up digitally, because I do have the whole book on my computer, but it's fun to read it out of the book, you know? All right, so we'll start with the opening pages. If you've been around a while, you've heard these. And then we got something new for you. So y'all, let's pull the cover up, because this is coming up on May 27th. I cannot wait to get it out to you. Wriggly Little Hands. Goblins look like if cats, hairless cats, had thumbs and learned to walk on two legs. But while cats are allowed to commit as many crimes as they want on account of being cute and small, the same hasn't been true of goblins ever since they discovered arson. Today, however, it wasn't goblins setting fire to everything. Ollie had been excited at first, when so many new friends had shown up on the plains of abandoned hope and paralyzing fear. He'd been even more excited when he'd noticed all the fun siege engines and war mammoths they'd brought along. But then his new friends, the Bright Queen and the Army of the Just, had laid siege to his old friends, the Dark Lord and his legions of smoldering shadow. In Goblin society, it was polite to greet new neighbors with a nice newt cake or a fresh pot of warmed mud. In human society, it seemed wanton slaughter was the go-to. That was how the Bright Queen had decided to introduce herself to the Dark Lord, at least. And who was Ollie to judge? Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if they could do it all a bit quieter, though. And maybe not burn down half the swamp again, especially considering that was the half he and his cousins lived in. So there you go. There's our opening to Wriggly Little Hands. Coming out May 27th. Comedy fantasy. We're a family of goblins go on a road trip to save the Dark Lord and accidentally do good at every turn. Find out they're not as evil as they think they are. Breadman, you liked it? Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's a goofy book. It's very silly. And I got two more paragraphs for you here. Here's a little section from chapter 26. I like to start a lot of the chapters with a little bit of a goofy aside about the world, and this is one of my favorites from it. So, for centuries, the greatest minds and magicians of the mortal realm have sought to make true flight accessible to the masses. Initial experiment with enchanted brooms had looked promising, until the sweepening. You see, enchanting an object inherently gives it a sliver of consciousness, and it turns out no one had thought to ask brooms how they felt about an eternity of cleaning dusty floors. The witches seemed to have negotiated a truce with the wild brooms, but they weren't sharing their secrets anytime soon. After that embarrassment, the aeromancy industry had turned its focus to magic carpets, to equally disastrous results. At which point, everyone agreed it was best to stop seeking the power of true flight through the enchantment of household objects. Currently, the foremost aero-magically gifted minds believe there's much promise to be found in dirigibles pumped full of highly flammable gases. I'm sure we all know that's going to go wonderfully, right? Highly flammable gases in dirigibles, no, never went wrong for anybody, historically and catastrophically. But yeah, there we go. There's some teasers from Wriggly Little Hands. Just gotta seed those in there as we get closer to launch. I just choked on my water. I appreciate y'all obliging me. As well, I appreciate y'all being here for stream today. It was a great time, y'all. Thank you for popping in. We were light on our word count today, but we were just taking it easy, just easing our way into the week, you know. We'll be back tomorrow for something a little new. Maybe we do some writing, or maybe we play our Dice Decide game. You know, we've had fun with that. So it could be that. Who knows? But y'all, thank you very much for being here today. As always, a special thanks to Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com for the use of his songs Farm, Manor, Cottages, and Northern Glade, which provided our background music today. As well, an extra special thank you to community member Raffi the Engineer. Yo, applause in chat for Raffi, who provided our newest background song, Midnight at the Round Table. It's been playing throughout the stream today. Raffi made that song just for stream. So thank you very much for that, Raffi. Y'all, if you've had a good time today, please give me a follow so we can catch you on the next one. And if you want to keep the party rolling, even when the stream's over, I just dropped the Discord link in chat. You can join us there, or just go to the link in my bio. We got it there. You can pop into the Discord and hang out with this community, even when the stream's not going. So, folks, thank you very much for being here today. I had a great time. I hope you did. As aforementioned, I have so much work to get to today, so I need to get on to that. But it's been a pleasure starting my day with y'all. Got the coffee, had a good chat with everybody. It was fun. So, folks, thank you for being here. And I'll be back tomorrow, same time, 7 to 9 a.m. Central. I'm excited to see everyone. We'll be back, keeping this week rolling. So, y'all, have a good day. Keep the good vibes rolling. I'll catch you next time. Peace out, folks.